every single situation we're in has an opportunity for teaching us something. Even the uncomfortable moments, not just even, especially the uncomfortable moments. We learn more from the discomfort, and we don't have to stay in the discomfort. Get your lesson and then shift, baby. Shift. Unless the lesson is still there to teach you something. Hello and welcome back. This is the Business of Happiness podcast. And today is going to be a phenomenal day. Hello, my friends. It's Tarryn MacCarthy. And I am so excited to be here with you today to remind you of your power, to remind you of your ability, your choice, your power of choice. And if there's something that we do really well at the Business of Happiness, it is empowerment. And I've been saying this for a few weeks now. There is no more important time than this in history, in our lives, to step into our individual power, because the world needs it now more than ever. And today we're discussing the power around reverence and awe. And this is not a small thing. This is not a small thing. This is a way to rediscover the power that you do have in your life. And so this episode, if you're listening, is for anyone who's ever felt like a victim of their circumstances, or like they don't have a say, or maybe you feel like you've painted yourself into a corner with the choices you've made, and now you feel a little stuck and trapped and feel like you might not have the power to make a new choice. And I'm here to remind you that if this is calling to you today, then this is the message you need. And today I'm going to give you a beautiful, practical practice. I don't like the word tool, and I'll tell you why, but this is a practice on how to step back into your confidence and your power to take back the reality, the control, and the empowerment of your reality. So the reason I don't like the word tool is you are not broken. And I don't believe any of us needs fixing. There is nothing wrong with you. You do not need to earn another dollar or lose another pound or gain another Instagram follower or get a new patient in your office to prove your worthiness. No one is broken. And I believe that deeply. So that's why I don't love using the word tools for stepping into empowerment. This is a practice. And I really value that word practice because it reminds us that everything is a practice. We're always either living the life and the personality and the human that we were, or we're living the woman that we're becoming. And so today is another practice to help you step into that level of empowerment that you're so deeply searching for, that level of fulfillment, that feeling of, you know what, I have power over my external circumstances. I get to choose the life I live and lead. And that is exactly what we're talking about today. I had this beautiful experience just last week, and this is what prompted today's episode. I was traveling to Ottawa to speak to a phenomenal group of dentists, and I'm so honored to have the opportunity to support them and to help them step into their sovereignty and their power with some really great practices around stress management. But really, the message behind everything that I do is reminding you of how powerful you are and waking you up to the truth about who you are. And even though I was delivering this powerful message and really having the opportunity to live what I've kind of dreamed into place, I was so eager when I started this journey, when I realized in the middle of being an orthodontist that this is what I'm here to do, is to support and empower other dentists and leaders to really take back that sense of empowerment over their lives. And so here I am. I'm traveling internationally to talk to men and women in dentistry about their power and to give them back that sense of empowerment. And I was really sad. I was in a hotel room all by myself on a Friday night. My family was home in another country, and here I was in this hotel room, and it was snowing outside. I had really hoped to go for a run outside after this beautiful presentation, and I was finding myself getting sad, a little depressed, a little disillusioned about my circumstances, kind of a little, I don't know, I just felt down, not fulfilled, not empowered, not happy, and feeling a little bit regretful of my choices, of my decisions. I felt like, wow, is this really what I want to be doing? Do I really want to be this far from my family on a Friday night? And it was really snowing outside, and there were a little bit of fears coming in of, am I going to be able to get home tomorrow? And just feeling lonely. And I realized in that moment the awareness of how I was feeling and the awareness of my situation and the lens through which I was seeing my situation. And this is the first really important point: awareness. Awareness is such a superpower. Awareness of how you feel and an awareness of what you're thinking. And in that moment, I became suddenly aware, because I've been practicing this for a long time. Awareness is a superpower, and you get to hone that superpower the more you practice it. Becoming aware of your thoughts and of your feelings. And so, boom, I was there. I was very aware of feeling lonely, of feeling down. And in that moment, I got to ask myself, what am I thinking right now? There's the awareness. What am I thinking? Because our thoughts come so fast and furious, and they're so on top of one another that we often aren't even aware of the myriad of thoughts going through your head. And so in that moment, I realized I'm lonely. I'm regretting this decision of flying away from my family and being away from my family internationally on a Friday night, and I'm feeling far from them. And I'm feeling like, maybe I didn't make a good decision here. Maybe I didn't make the right choice. And right there, I realized where all my insecurity comes is where I recognize that I'm feeling like a victim of my circumstances. Poor me. Here I am, far from my family. I'm feeling sad. And I start noticing, oh my gosh, I'm noticing that I'm feeling like a victim. I can't just run home right now. I'm in another country. I'm here all by myself. I'm feeling lonely. I'm feeling sad. And I felt like I had no options. And right there was an opportunity for me to use this practice. And it shifted everything for me. And that is the practice of reverence. We forget this incredible opportunity that we have called life and all the ups and downs in it. And I want you to bear with me for a moment here and hear me out, because it's a powerful practice when we can step out of victimization and into reverence. And the reverence I could have in that moment is the truth of my situation. I was sitting in a 5-star hotel. I had traveled internationally. I am an international speaker now to deliver this message of empowerment, which is my purpose, which is my soul mission right now. I got to stand on the stage. I get to, and here's the phrase, to recite. And this is not a new one. You've heard this one before, but I want to share it with you through a new lens of reverence. I get to enjoy this evening of quiet by myself. I get to choose whatever I want to do tonight. I get to go out to a restaurant. I get to go down to downtown Ottawa and skate on the canal. I get to walk in the snow. I get to read a book in bed. I get to choose how I see myself. And there is the nugget that I was looking for. How do I choose to see myself? I get to go home tomorrow to a family I love. How lucky am I? I get to fly home tomorrow. And if the flight is canceled, I get to navigate this incredible transportation opportunity that I have, that not many other people have, and I get to figure out a new way and follow the adventure of a lifetime. And I know you're hearing this through the lens of someone who speaks on stages, keynote speaker, and I'm going to bring it right back to dentistry, because I remember that same feeling in dentistry when sometimes I'd feel like, oh my gosh, I've made all these choices and now I'm here and I'm not so sure I'm so happy being here. I'm not really enjoying this day. I'm feeling kind of frustrated or stressed or sad or overwhelmed. This is a great day for an example of that. So here in Maine, as I'm recording this, that same snowstorm that was going through Ottawa is now here in Maine, and it's a snow day. And I remember driving to the practice, feeling so sad that I was leaving my kids at home, had to kind of rearrange things on snow days when their schools were canceled. Snow days are fun, right? Snow days are opportunities to an unexpected day off, and there's that energy at home, and I longed to be home with my kids, and I was so sad driving into work thinking, oh my gosh, this is so frustrating. They're all home, and I'm feeling that tug to be home with them, and I have to go into work. And right there is an opportunity for reverence and awe. I get to go to work today. I get to support my team. I get to support my patients. I get to hold a space for them and actually enjoy this wacky day. Snow days always have a different air about them, don't they? Those of you who know, when there's, even if you're at work, the pace of the day feels different. It's a little exciting. Maybe we'll close early. Who will show up? There's a little bit of a air of naughtiness. That's the word my husband used as he was going into work this morning, because we just had this conversation. He's going in to see patients, and Nula, our daughter, is home. And, I have a different schedule now. I'm here at the house as well. So as Killian was going to work, I said, how do you feel about going to work? Using this new perspective shift of he said, I get to have a day where there's a little air of naughtiness, like we're doing something, that maybe won't last today. Like the whole schedule could be blown up. Hey, maybe I'll get everyone cupcakes. Like there's a little bit of air of doing something out of the ordinary. There can be an excitement there. I get to experience that with my team. And here's a really big awareness. I also get to call in and cancel the day if I want to. What? There is empowerment in recognizing the reverence for who you are and the opportunities you have in this moment. As the owner of my practice, I get to cancel the day and say, you know what? Snow day for everyone. I also get to keep it open and have this kind of cool, funky day and see which patients show up and support patients who are so grateful to come in. I also get to call in sick, even if you don't own the practice. You do. You get to. We have so much opportunity in our lives. We get to do whatever we want. And yes, there will be outcomes and consequences. We get to traverse those too. Because here's a really important moment for you. You get to change your mind every step of the way. You get to change your mind. You get to make a new choice. You get to choose a new path to travel down. And this is a really important time in your life to realize that. Every point along the way in my life, I had choice. Even when I was working in an associate office in a situation I was not in love with, I was driving, and this is going to blow your mind, 4 hours. Yes, I was, because that's what traffic looked like in the Boston area, and I was about 2 hours away from work. So sometimes on a Friday night, it took me 4 hours to get home. I was traveling 4 hours home on Friday nights, sometimes an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours in the weekdays, to a job I didn't love. And the power of reverence and awe stepped in big time for me and supported me in those moments, because I realized I get to glean all of this incredible knowledge and experience in this situation, in this office for now, and then I get to give my notice when I am ready. I get to walk away from this. I get to say, you know what, this is no longer aligned for me, but in this moment today, it is. In this moment, I get to listen to a podcast. I get to turn the music on and enjoy. I get to pull over and have lunch, or dinner rather, on the way home if I want to. And then I get to change my mind around when this job is no longer aligned for me. I also get to change where I live. I get to move if I want to. This is an important practice to remember because you have choice. You have choice. And I heard something over the weekend that was around the definition of privilege. And the definition of privilege I heard was choice. When you have a choice, you are sitting in a place of privilege. When you say to yourself, I have choice right now, you are sitting in a place of privilege when you're in a place of power. And the reason the context this was coming up in was recognizing privilege in terms of ethnicity and race and financial security, and recognizing when you're in power and versus when someone else isn't. And I want to shift that for a moment into recognizing when you are in power, every moment that you are in choice. Notice the choices you have in your life. That's where I want you to go. Notice the options you do have, and notice the privilege and the power and the empowerment you have. And the way we find that is through reverence and awe. Oh my gosh, I get to live this life. I get to live this life. I choose to live this life. And feel in your body how energetically things shift for you. Notice the energetic change when you recognize your power of choice. I get to experience this right now. I get to have awe and reverence for this moment. It is a choice to hold awe and reverence. It is also a choice to feel like a victim of your circumstances. And that's where I go back to the awareness being everything, everything. In every moment, you get to choose the lens through which you are witnessing your life and your opportunities for change. Every moment, there's always a choice. And the only person who recognizes that and has the ability to recognize that is you. Nobody is walking your journey. Nobody is walking in your shoes and experiencing what you are experiencing. And what I'm handing you here is an opportunity to shift your energy so that you can step back into a place of empowerment. We always have that choice. And it doesn't always feel so powerful in the moment. Let me also allow for that. In the moment, sometimes we can get so mired because we've been practicing victimhood. We've been practicing feeling like the world owes us something. We've been practicing like everyone else has a say and we don't. So in the moment where you have the awareness, oh my gosh, I actually have some options here. Actually, can I hold some awe and reverence for what I am experiencing right now? I am experiencing an extent of discomfort that now is waking me up to being ready for a shift. I'm not willing to tolerate this anymore. Let's go back to my moment in the hotel room. Right there, I have a choice. Is this aligned for me anymore? This is feeling uncomfortable right now. Do I still want to do this speaking thing anymore? All for this moment. All for this incredible awareness. I get to ask myself a new question. Do I want to keep doing this? And right there, we step into our power again when we hold awe and reverence for the moment. So I'd love for you to just think about in your life right now where something feels stuck or overwhelming or like it's not moving or shifting or changing for you, somewhere where you're feeling trapped or limited. Can you offer yourself a moment of awe, not just for the situation you're in, because every single situation we're in has an opportunity for teaching us something. Even the uncomfortable moments, not just even, especially the uncomfortable moments. We learn more from the discomfort, and we don't have to stay in the discomfort. Get your lesson and then shift, baby. Shift. unless the lesson is still there to teach you something, unless you can still hold awe for the lesson that you're in. There's still so much good coming out of this right now. I'm going to hold awe for it and add value to it so that I can shift the lens through which I'm seeing my situation to step back into a place of empowerment and recognize the power of choice. Yeah, this is teaching me a lot right now, and I'm beginning to notice the things that I don't really love about it. And that's important because then I get to make a new choice. Because here is the awe I want you to hold. The awe for choice. The privilege of choice. Where do you have the choice? And one of the deepest, most powerful places you have that is in the lens through which you are seeing something. That is a choice. And I don't care who you are and what situation you're in, that is a power you have right now. So what are you going to choose? What choice are you going to make? And maybe you're listening to this right now and you're going, oh my God, yes, that sounds so good. I want that level of empowerment. I want that level of freedom. I want that level of choice, of awe. I want to get there, Tarryn. And I want to remind you of an opportunity this year, 2026, October 1st through 4th. It's called the Empower Her Retreat. It is only for women, sorry guys, only for women, doctors and dentists looking for that level of healing so that they can step into that level of empowerment and choice. And it does sometimes require an amount of healing. And that is what we're doing at the Empower Her Retreat. It's this October 1st through 4th. It is an experience unlike anything you've experienced. It is only for women, doctors and dentists, women who are taking care of everyone else, women healers in Taos, New Mexico for 3 days. And we're going to be learning the practices, not just the mindset components. That I've got you here on the podcast. I've got you in Radical Happiness for practitioners. If you don't know what that is, head over to my website, The Biz of Happiness, and check it out. But the Taos retreat is about healing because sometimes the wounding is so deep from our lived experience in medicine and dentistry, from our education, from what we've been told to believe about ourselves, that we need a healing in order to step back into that sense of empowerment and recognize the power we have to create our own reality. And that power is within you always. It's not outside of you. It's nothing out there. It is within you. And that is what we're doing at the retreat, is recognizing the power within you. How can you find that on a daily basis? How can you step back into your empowerment to choose a new reality? It's going to be magical. It's going to be so powerful. So go to empowerherretreat.org. Empower Her, H-E-R, retreat. So be careful, there are 2 R's in there. Empowerherretreat.org to set up a time to chat with me. I only welcome a very small number of women into this retreat with reason because we're going to be doing some deep healing. And I would love to talk to you about it. So it's an interview only sign up registration. Back to the episode. As I leave you here today, I want you to remember, when you have the awareness of feeling uncomfortable or stuck, or like you don't like the choices you've made, or you don't like the choices that other people have made for you, there is enormous power in stepping into what can I hold awe and reverence for in this moment, and allow that perspective to start shifting for you energetically, because all you need to do is notice, oh my gosh, I do have choice. If I look at this through a different lens, I actually feel more empowerment in me and an energetic shift that puts me back into the place of choice, which in this lens is privilege, which in this lens is power. And that is available to you at any time. And so we get to use that phrase that I know you've heard before, I get to. use that phrase, I get to. What do you get to see, hear, feel, experience today? What do you get to? And even if it's, I get to change my mind, that is powerful. And that is always within your control. And remember this deeply, because as we go through this year of the fire horse and we see big changes happening all around us, I want you to also recognize that the way you feel matters. It informs for you what's happening. It informs what is aligned, what is right for you. And it also matters because when you feel good, you can do good, meaning you can take right action. You can make right choices for you. You can do good for the people around you. You can show up as your better self. When you feel good, you can do good. And that is everything. Thank you for listening to the Business of Happiness podcast. If this episode brought you new perspective and value, I invite you to subscribe so that you catch all upcoming episodes and leave us a review. And if you know of a friend or colleague who could benefit from this perspective, share this episode with them and empower their day. For more information about the Business of Happiness and the Radical Happiness for Practitioners course, find me on www.thebizofhappiness.com. See you there.